The desperate night. She had 3 days to live, and Earth was her last hope. Zara pressed her hand against the cold metal wall of her broken spaceship. Rain pounded on the roof like angry fists. Her blue skin was pale, almost gray now. She had not eaten in 5 days. The ship's food system was dead, just like everything else. "Please work," she whispered to the radio. Her fingers shook as she tried the buttons again. Nothing. Only silence. The war had taken everything from her. Her mate, Keth, died fighting the Vorthax soldiers. Her home planet was now ash and smoke. She escaped with hundreds of other survivors, but space is cold and cruel. One by one, their ships broke down. One by one, her people died. Now she was alone. Zara looked out the small window. Earth stretched below her like a blue and green jewel. The humans lived down there. She had heard stories about them. Dangerous stories. They killed aliens on sight, the old ones said. They cut them open to study their insides. They showed no mercy. But what choice did she have? Her stomach twisted with hunger pain. She had not felt this weak since she was a child. Her hands could barely make a fist. Her legs felt like water. Through the rain, she saw a warm yellow light in the distance. A house. A human house. "I cannot do this," she told herself. "They will kill me." But her body was already dying. She could feel it shutting down, piece by piece. Her heart beat too slow. Her breath came too hard. 3 days, maybe less. The light called to her like a star. Zara forced herself to stand. Her legs shook, but they held her weight. She looked in the broken mirror on the wall. Her real face looked back. Blue skin, silver eyes, pointed ears. No human would help someone who looked like this. She closed her eyes and felt the change begin. It hurt, but she was used to pain now. Her skin turned pale pink. Her ears became raw. And her eyes shifted to brown. When she opened them, a human woman looked back from the mirror. "Just food," she whispered. "Just enough to live." The rain soaked through her thin clothes as she walked toward the house. Each step was harder than the last. The mud tried to pull her down, but she kept moving. The house was bigger up close. Warm light came from many windows. She could smell something wonderful. Bread, maybe soup. Her mouth filled with water. Her stomach made angry sounds. She walked around the house like a ghost. All the windows were too high except one, the kitchen window. Inside she could see a table with food still on it. Bread, fruit, things that could keep her alive. The window was old. The lock was weak. Her fingers found the edge and pushed. It opened with a soft sound. Zara looked around. No one was watching. The other houses were dark and quiet. She took a deep breath and climbed inside. The kitchen was warm like a hug. Her feet touched soft tiles. The smell of food made her head spin with hunger. There, on the counter, a loaf of bread, some cheese, an apple. She moved like a shadow, trying to make no sound. Her hands reached for the bread. It was still soft, still fresh. She wanted to cry with happiness. One bite, just one bite to stop the pain. She broke off a small piece and put it in her mouth. The taste was like heaven, sweet and warm and perfect. She had forgotten what real food tasted like. She reached for more, but then she heard it. Footsteps. Coming down the stairs. Slow, careful footsteps. Zara froze like ice. Her heart stopped beating for a moment. The bread fell from her hands to the floor. The footsteps came closer. A shadow appeared at the kitchen door. Then a man stepped into the light. He was tall with brown hair and kind eyes. He wore sleeping clothes and looked tired, but he was not angry, not yet. He saw her standing there, with bread in her hands. He saw the open window. He saw her dirty clothes and scared face. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Zara wanted to run, but her legs would not work. She wanted to speak, but no words came. This was it. This was how she would die. In a stranger's kitchen, stealing bread like a common thief. The man looked at her for what felt like hours. Then he spoke, and his voice was gentle like spring rain. "Are you hurt?" 3 words that would change everything. The unexpected meeting. What happened next changed everything we thought about humans. Zara's mind screamed one word: run. But her body had other ideas. Her legs shook like leaves in a storm. The breadcrumbs on the floor seemed to scream her guilt to the world. This human would call others. They would come with weapons and chains. They would drag her to their labs and cut her open while she was still alive, just like the stories said. The man took a step closer. Zara's fake human skin began to flicker. Blue patches showed through like cracks in a mask. Her control was breaking. "Please," she whispered, backing against the counter. "Please, I just needed—" Hey, it's okay." The man stopped moving. His voice was soft, like he was talking to a scared animal. "You're shaking. When did you last eat?" Zara blinked. This was not what humans were supposed to say. Where was the screaming? Where were the threats? She stared at his face in the dim kitchen light. His eyes were not filled with hate or fear. They looked worried. For her? She started, then stopped. Her throat was so dry. "I am sorry. I did not mean to. I was just so—" "Hungry," the man finished. "I can see that. You look like you haven't eaten in days." How could he see that? How could this human look at her and see pain instead of danger? Tom, though she did not know his name yet, moved very slowly to the kitchen table. He pulled out a chair and gestured to it. "Sit down before you fall down," he said gently. "You're about to collapse." Zara wanted to argue, but her knees gave up at that exact moment. She grabbed the counter to stop herself from hitting the floor. The fake human skin on her hands flickered again, showing glimpses of blue underneath. Tom was beside her in 2 quick steps. His hand touched her arm, not grabbing, just supporting. His touch was warm and careful. "Easy there, I've got you." No human had ever touched her without wanting to hurt her. The contact sent shockwaves through her mind. This was impossible. Humans were killers. Everyone knew that. But this one was helping her stand. "You're burning up with fever," Tom said, frowning. "And you're ice cold at the same time. That's not normal." Because I'm not human, Zara thought. Her disguise was failing piece by piece. Soon he would see what she really was. Then the gentleness would disappear. Tom guided her to the chair like she was made of glass. He knelt down so their eyes were level. "What's your name?" he asked. "Zara," she whispered without thinking. Then panic hit her. She had given him her real name, her alien name. How stupid could she be? But Tom just smiled. "That's a beautiful name. I'm Tom. This is my house, and right now, you're my guest." Guest? Not prisoner? Not test subject? Tom stood up and moved to the kitchen cabinets. "Let me get you some water, then we'll figure out some food." Zara watched him with wide eyes. He moved around his kitchen like this was normal. Like finding alien thieves at 2 a.m. happened every day. "I don't understand," she said, her voice barely a whisper. Tom paused, a glass of water in his hand. "Don't understand what?" "You should be afraid of me. You should call your police. I broke into your home. I am stealing your food." Tom set the water in front of her. His expression was thoughtful. "You know what I see?" he said, sitting across from her. "I see someone who's so desperate she's risking her life for a piece of bread. Someone who's probably been running for a long time. Someone who looks like she's carrying the weight of the world." Zara's eyes filled with tears. How could this human see so much? How could he look at her and understand things she had not even said? "You are not like the stories," she whispered. Tom's eyebrows went up. "What stories?" The words tumbled out before she could stop them. "The stories about humans. How you hate anyone different. How you kill first and ask questions later. How you—" She stopped. She had said too much. Tom was quiet for a long moment. Then he leaned forward, his eyes serious but kind. "Zara," he said carefully, "exactly how different are we talking about here?" This was it, the moment of truth. Her disguise was already cracking. Her blue skin showed through in more places now. Her silver eyes were bleeding through the brown. She could lie. She could make up some story about being from another country. But something in Tom's face made her want to tell the truth. "Very different," she whispered. And then she let the disguise fall completely. Her skin shifted from pink to deep blue. Her eyes became pools of liquid silver. Her ears grew pointed. Strange markings appeared along her neck and arms like living tattoos. She sat there in his kitchen, revealed as what she truly was. An alien, the enemy, the monster from space. Tom stared at her for 5 heartbeats. Then he smiled the most amazing smile she had ever seen. "Now that," he said softly, "is the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed." And Zara's world turned upside down once again. The truth revealed. The moment that would change both their lives forever had arrived. Zara sat frozen in the kitchen chair, her true form exposed under the soft yellow light. Her blue skin seemed to glow like starlight. The silver markings on her arms pulsed with her heartbeat. She was beautiful and terrifying and completely alien, and Tom was staring at her like she was a miracle. "You're not human," he whispered, but there was no fear in his voice, only wonder. Zara's hands trembled as she touched her own face. No disguise, no lies, just the truth she had hidden from everyone. "Now you will call them," she said, her voice breaking. "The soldiers will come. They will take me away." But Tom shook his head. He reached across the table, slowly, letting her see every movement. When his human fingers touched her blue ones, she gasped. "The only thing I'm going to call," he said softly, "is you stunning." No one had ever called her beautiful, not even her own mate, Keth. He had loved her, yes, but aliens did not speak of beauty the way humans did. "I don't understand your species," Zara whispered. "You should hate me." "Why would I hate you?" The simple question broke something inside her. Tears started falling down her blue cheeks like silver rain. "Because my people are at war with everyone. Because we bring death wherever we go. Because—" her voice cracked. "Because I am the last one left." Tom's expression changed. The wonder was still there, but now it mixed with something deeper, sorrow. "Tell me," he said. "Tell me what happened." So she did. The words poured out like water from a broken dam. She told him about the Vorthak invasion, how they came from the dark edge of space with ships like black knives, how they burned worlds just for fun. "My mate, Keth, was a warrior," she said, staring at her hands. "He fought them on the moon above our home. I watched his ship explode from our bedroom window." Tom's grip on her fingers tightened. "We tried to evacuate. Thousands of ships fled into deep space. But space is cruel. Ships broke down. People died. Families were separated." Her voice became a whisper. "One by one, we all disappeared." "How many are left?" Tom asked. "I don't know. Maybe hundreds scattered across the galaxy, maybe less." She looked up at him with eyes full of pain. "I have been alone for 8 months. My ship is dying. I am dying." Tom stood up suddenly. For a moment Zara thought he was leaving, running away from her tragic story like any sane person would. Instead, he went to the stove. "When did you last have a real meal?" he asked, turning on the burner. Zara blinked. "What?" "A hot, cooked meal, not stolen scraps, not emergency rations. A real dinner." I cannot remember." Tom pulled out pans and ingredients like he was preparing for battle. "Well, that changes tonight." "Tom, you don't understand. I could be dangerous. My people, we have powers that—" "Are you dangerous?" he interrupted, cracking eggs into a pan. The question caught her off guard. "What?" "Right now, in this moment, are you planning to hurt me or my family?" "No, never. I would rather die than—" "Then you're not dangerous," Tom said simply. "You're just hungry and scared and far from home." The smell of cooking food filled the kitchen. Real food, hot food. Zara's stomach made sounds like a crying baby. Tom cooked like he was casting magic. Eggs became fluffy clouds. Bread turned golden brown. He cut fresh fruit and made coffee that smelled like heaven. "My grandmother always said," Tom said, flipping eggs perfectly, "that you can't solve problems on an empty stomach." When he placed the plate in front of her, Zara started crying again. No one had cooked for her since her mother died years ago. The food was simple: eggs, toast, fruit, coffee, but it looked like a feast for kings. "Eat," Tom said gently. "We'll figure out the rest later." Zara took the first bite and almost fell off her chair. The eggs were perfect, creamy and warm and flavored with herbs she couldn't name. Her body sang with happiness as real nutrition hit her system. Tom watched her eat with a small smile. "Better?" She nodded, unable to speak around the food. She ate like someone who might never eat again, which, until tonight, had been true. "Tom?" a new voice said from the doorway. "What's going on? I heard voices and—" A woman appeared in the kitchen entrance. She had brown hair and sleepy eyes. She was wearing a nightgown and looked confused. Then she saw Zara. Her blue skin, her silver markings, her pointed ears. The woman's eyes went very wide. Her mouth opened in a perfect O of shock. "Sarah," Tom said calmly, "meet Zara. She's going to be staying with us for a while." Sarah stared. Then she looked at her husband like he had lost his mind. "Tom," she said carefully, "that's an alien," Zara finished, setting down her fork. "Here it comes," she thought, the screaming, the running, the calling of authorities. But Sarah surprised her. Instead of fear, her face showed the same wonder that Tom had shown. She stepped into the kitchen like she was approaching something magical. "You're really from another planet?" Sarah whispered. Zara nodded. "And you're in trouble?" Another nod. Sarah looked at Tom. Some silent conversation passed between them. Married people had their own language, Zara realized. Then Sarah pulled out another chair and sat down at the table. "Well then," she said with a smile, "I guess we better figure out how to help." Zara's fork clattered to the plate. These humans, they were impossible. They broke every rule she had ever learned about their species. "You want to help me?" she asked. "Of course," Sarah said, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. "That's what people do." Outside, thunder rolled across the sky. Rain kept falling, but inside the warm kitchen, three unlikely friends sat around a simple table. And in the distance, hidden in the darkness, men in black uniforms were setting up equipment. Scanners and radios and weapons. They had detected the alien crash site. And they were coming. The hidden danger. They thought they were safe, but death was already at their door. At 4:17 a.m., the first black van rolled silently down Maple Street. No headlights, no engine noise. Just Dows moving through shadows. Inside Tom's kitchen, Zara was finally smiling. For the first time in months, she felt something she had forgotten existed: hope. Sarah was showing her family photos on her phone. Tom was making more coffee. They were treating her like she belonged here. Like she was family. None of them heard the vehicles surrounding their house. "This is Alpha Team," a voice whispered into a radio outside. "Target building secured, no movement detected." Agent Marcus Cole crouched behind a tree in Tom's backyard. He had been hunting aliens for 12 years. His job was simple: find them, capture them, deliver them to the lab. What happened after that was not his problem. But this one was different. His scanners had detected the crash 6 hours ago. By the time his team reached the site, the alien was gone, but the ship told him everything. Advanced technology, weapon systems, and biological readings that made his blood run cold. This alien was not just smart, it was powerful. "Sir," his partner whispered through the radio, "heat signatures show 3 people in the kitchen. 2 human, 1 something else." Cole smiled coldly. "Perfect. The humans are probably already infected or controlled. We'll take them all." He raised his hand to signal the attack. Inside, Zara suddenly froze. Her silver eyes went wide with terror. "What's wrong?" Sarah asked. Zara's head tilted like she was listening to something far away. Her alien senses were screaming danger. She could smell the metal of weapons, the chemical scent of body armor, the electric buzz of scanning equipment. "They found me," she whispered. Tom looked confused. "Who found you?" "Your military. Your hunters." Zara stood up fast, her chair falling backward. "They are outside, right now." Sarah's face went pale. "How do you know?" "I can sense them. 23 armed humans surrounding this house." Zara's voice shook with fear. They have weapons that can kill me even through walls." Tom moved to the window and carefully looked through the curtains. At first he saw nothing. Then a shadow moved wrong. A reflection caught light where no light should be. "She's right," he said grimly. "We've got company." The radio in Agent Cole's ear crackled. "All teams in position, sir." Cole raised his weapon. "Move in. Non-lethal for the alien. We need it alive for questioning." The first door exploded inward with a thunderous crash. "Federal agents, nobody move!" Tom grabbed Sarah's hand. "Basement, now!" They ran through the kitchen as boots thundered through the house. Zara moved like liquid lightning, her alien reflexes making her almost invisible. Tom threw open the basement door. "Down!" Sarah went first. Tom pushed Zara after her, then followed, slamming the door behind them. He turned the lock just as heavy footsteps reached the kitchen above. The basement was dark and cold. Old boxes and furniture created a maze of hiding places. "There," Tom pointed to a space behind his workbench. "Stay quiet." Above them they heard voices, angry voices. "Kitchen's empty, sir, but there are 3 plates. Fresh food still warm. They're here somewhere. Tear this place apart." Footsteps moved through every room. Doors slammed. Furniture crashed to the floor. Sarah was shaking like a leaf. "Tom, what have we done? We're harboring a fugitive." "No," Tom said firmly. "We're protecting a friend." Zara stared at them both. "You could turn me in. Save yourselves. They would let you go free." Tom's answer was immediate. "Never." "But why? You barely know me." Sarah took Zara's blue hand in her human ones. "Because it's right. Because you needed help. Because—" she paused. "Because you're family now." Above them, Agent Cole's voice echoed through the house. "I know you're here, alien. We detected your ship. We know what you are." His voice got closer to the basement door. "Come out peacefully, and we won't hurt the humans who helped you." Tom snorted. "Sure you won't." Cole continued. "We just want to talk, to understand your technology, your people." Zara's laugh was bitter. "Talk. That's what they told my cousin Wren before they cut him open while he was still breathing." The basement door handle rattled. Cole was trying to open it. "Locked," Cole muttered. "Bring the torch." Sarah's eyes went wide. "Torch? Plasma cutter," Zara whispered. "It will cut through that door like paper." A bright blue light appeared under the door. The smell of burning metal filled the air. "We need another way out," Tom said desperately. "There is no other way," Sarah said. "This basement is a box." Zara closed her silver eyes. When she opened them again, they were glowing with inner fire. "Yes, there is," she said quietly. She pressed her hands against the concrete wall. Blue light spread from her fingers like lightning. The wall began to crack. "What are you doing?" Tom asked. "Something I should have done years ago," Zara said. Her voice was different now, stronger, more dangerous. "I am done running." The basement door exploded inward. Agent Cole stepped through with 5 armed soldiers behind him. "There you are," he said, raising his weapon. But the basement was empty. A hole in the wall led to darkness beyond, and somewhere in that darkness, 3 friends were running for their lives. Cole spoke into his radio, his voice ice-cold with rage. "Target has escaped. She has abilities we didn't expect. All teams, expand the search. Nobody sleeps until we find that alien." He stared into the hole in the wall. "And when we do," he whispered, "she's going to wish she never came to Earth." The final choice. Everything they had built together was about to be destroyed forever. The underground tunnel stretched ahead like a throat waiting to swallow them. Zara's glowing hands lit the way as they ran through darkness. Behind them, angry voices echoed from the basement hole. "They're in the old storm drains," Agent Cole's voice boomed. "Seal every exit. I want that alien in chains." Tom's lungs burned as he ran. Sarah stumbled on the rough ground, but he caught her hand and pulled her forward. This was madness. Yesterday he was a normal man with a normal life. Now he was running from his own government, all for a blue-skinned woman he had known for 6 hours. And he would do it again in a heartbeat. "Where does this tunnel lead?" Zara asked, her silver eyes cutting through the darkness. "Old subway system," Tom panted. "Been abandoned for 20 years. Should come out near the industrial district." "Near my ship," Zara realized. They ran in silence for 10 minutes. Behind them, the sound of pursuit grew fainter. Maybe they had lost them. Maybe they were safe. Then Sarah tripped. Her ankle twisted with a sick crack. She cried out and fell hard on the tunnel floor. "Sarah!" Tom dropped beside her. Her ankle was already swelling. "I can't," she gasped. "I can't walk on it." Footsteps echoed from behind them, getting closer. "Leave me," Sarah said. "Take Zara and go." "Never," Tom said fiercely. Zara knelt beside them both. "I can carry her." "You're already weak from everything," Tom said. "You can barely stand." The footsteps were getting louder. Flashlight beams danced on the tunnel walls behind them. "There is another way," Zara said quietly. She placed her hands on Sarah's injured ankle. Blue light flowed from her fingers like healing water. Sarah gasped as the pain disappeared. "What did you do?" Sarah whispered. "Gave you some of my life force," Zara said. Her own face was now paler. "You can run now, but I—" Zara swayed on her feet. The healing had cost her everything. Tom caught her as she fell. "Zara, go," she whispered. "My ship, in the old steel factory. Take the crystal from the engine. It's worth more than Terhed. His entire planet. Sell it. Live good lives." "We're not leaving you," Sarah said, standing on her healed ankle. "You have to. Cole will never stop hunting me, but he might let you live if I'm gone." Tom's jaw set like stone. "We started this together. We finish it together." He lifted Zara in his arms like she weighed nothing. Adrenaline and determination made him strong. They ran. The tunnel opened into a massive underground chamber. Old subway platforms crumbled in the darkness, and there, in a forgotten maintenance bay, sat Zara's ship. It was beautiful, silver metal that seemed to flow like water. Strange symbols glowed along its sides. It was damaged, yes, but it was still magnificent. "The engine," Zara said weakly. "Blue panel on the left side." Tom set her down gently and found the panel. Inside, a crystal pulsed with inner light like a captured star. "This will fix your ship?" Sarah asked. "No," Zara said sadly. "Nothing can fix it now. But that crystal, it contains the location of every surviving member of my people, scattered across the galaxy." Tom's hands stopped moving. "You could find them. If I had a working ship, if I had time, if—" She coughed, and silver blood appeared on her lips. "If I wasn't dying." The healing had taken too much from her. Above them, they heard the distant sound of helicopters, vehicles, an army searching for them. "They'll be here soon," Sarah said. Zara closed her eyes. "I need to tell you something, both of you." Tom and Sarah leaned closer. "In my culture, we have a ritual. When someone saves your life, they become your family forever. Blood family, soul family." Her silver eyes opened. "You saved me, fed me, protected me, healed my heart." She touched Tom's hand, then Sarah's. "By the laws of my people, you are now my family, and I am yours." Tom felt tears on his cheeks. "Zara, which means?" she continued, her voice growing stronger, that I will die before I let anyone hurt my family. The chamber filled with blinding light. AT helicopters descended from above. Ropes dropped down as black armored soldiers rappelled into the abandoned station. Agent Cole landed first, his weapon trained on them. "End of the line," he said coldly. "Step away from the alien." Tom stood up slowly. Sarah moved to stand beside him. They formed a protective wall in front of Zara. "No," Tom said simply. Cole's eyes narrowed. "You're harboring an enemy of humanity." "We're protecting a member of our family," Sarah said. "Last warning, move away or we consider you hostile." Tom and Sarah didn't move. Cole raised his weapon. "So be it." That's when Zara stood up. The crystal in her hand blazed with the light of 1,000 suns. Her blue skin glowed like a star. Her silver markings pulsed with power that made the air itself sing. "You want me?" she said, her voice echoing with otherworldly strength. "Then face me directly." But instead of attacking, she did something impossible. She touched the crystal to her ship's communication array. A signal burst out into space faster than light itself. Across the galaxy, on dozens of different worlds, Zara's surviving people felt the call. The message was simple. Safe harbor found. Humans can be trusted. Come home. Cole's face went white. "What did you do?" Zara smiled, and for the first time since they met her, it was a smile without sadness. "I called my family," she said. "All of them." 6 months later, Tom stood in his backyard, watching his new neighbor hang laundry on the line. She had blue skin and silver eyes, just like Zara. 3 houses down, a family of green-skinned Altarians were teaching human children how to fly small hover discs. The integration hadn't been easy. The government had fought it at first. But when dozens of alien ships arrived offering technology, medicine, and friendship instead of conquest, everything changed. Agent Cole had been reassigned to a desk job in Nevada. And every Sunday, Zara still came for dinner. She knocked on the front door now, carrying flowers from her garden, alien flowers that glowed in the dark and smelled like cinnamon. "Hello, family," she said when Tom opened the door. "Hello, sister," Tom replied. In the kitchen, Sarah was setting the table for 4, because tonight, like every Sunday night, they were expecting one more guest. Zara's mate, Keth, had survived the war after all. His damaged ship had drifted for months before being found by a rescue vessel. When he received Zara's signal, he came to Earth as fast as his ship could fly. The reunion had been beautiful. And now, as Tom watched his alien sister laugh with his human wife in their kitchen, he realized something wonderful. Sometimes the greatest adventures begin with the smallest acts of kindness. Sometimes, all it takes to change the universe is offering a warm meal to a stranger. And sometimes, family isn't about blood or species or planets. Sometimes, family is about choosing to care when the whole world tells you to be afraid. The end. "Hello, family," she said when Tom opened the door. "Hello, sister," Tom replied. In the kitchen, Sarah was setting the table for 4. Because tonight, like every Sunday night, they were expecting one more guest. Zara's mate, Keth, had survived the war after all. His damaged ship had drifted for months before being found by a rescue vessel. When he received Zara's signal, he came to Earth as fast as his ship could fly. The reunion had been beautiful. And now, as Tom watched his alien sister laugh with his human wife in their kitchen, he realized something wonderful. Sometimes the greatest adventures begin with the smallest acts of kindness. Sometimes, all it takes to change the universe is offering a warm meal to a stranger. And sometimes, family isn't about blood or species or planets. Sometimes, family is about choosing to care when the whole world tells you to be afraid. The end.